Hello everybody, time to move to chapter 2. Willie once more again is sleeping, so I have to be kind of quiet, okay? But let's take a look at number 1. Consider the system of equations shown below, two equations. Which graph, there's a couple of ways to do this, which graph and solution is the answer. So what we really could do is we could take this x value and that y value and plug them in both equations and see which one we get a true answer for. We'll do that at the end of the problem, but first let's make sure you know how to graph. Okay, so the first equation, I'm going to write it right here, and I'm not writing it for my benefit. I know how to do it, so hopefully you will write it with me. We need to get y by itself. I know Miss Shire and Mr. McBurney taught you that, so get yourself ready. There's a 1 in front of that x, so that becomes 1/4 x minus 3. This is the first equation. The second equation, x plus y equals 2. Take the x to the other side. You should know how to solve for y. Y equals negative x plus 2. Now remember, that's negative 1x plus 2. Now hopefully you can graph those by hand, but you can also use your handy dandy and put those in your y equals button. Did I do that too fast? This y equals button right here. 1/4, everybody look where I'm at. This is the x button. Oh, I meant for that to be the top, but that doesn't really matter. Minus 3. And what's the other one? Negative 1x plus 2. Hit graph. Hit zoom 6 in case your graph is not working, and we can go ahead and use our calculator to show that the right graph is option B. Can you see how it's the only graph that kind of matches that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another way that we could have done this to show that the answer is B. So there, if we know that I guess that's positive 4, 2 is what we were testing, positive 4 and negative 2, we could literally put them in the original equations. So I could do 4 times my y value equals my x value minus 12. And so this is the first equation. That's negative 8 equals negative 8. And we can put in the second equation. So it was x plus y. So it would be 4 plus negative 2 equals 2. And that's 2 equals 2. So you could have just used the answers to prove it. So did you see how that happened there? Let me see if I can scroll down without moving too much. So I took this top equation and I put in the point that it told me it equaled, and then I did the same with the bottom equation. So that's I'll write, or you could do it this way. Either way, you can see you get negative 8 equals negative 8 or 2 equals 2. Number 3. So because of the equal to's on part B, that was probably my hang up, is that it said between 90 and 100 when it should have been like 90 and 100 inclusively. Number 3. Oh, I hope we talk about these. I hope we have enough time before I leave to talk about these. First things first, I hate where that position is. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this, instead of saying 2 less than, we're going to say that x plus 3 has to be greater than 2. I have heard there's a lot of these on the Keystones. This is one of those ones where you had to split up into 2 problems. You learned this in chapter 3. I want to say section 7 with Miss Shire or Mr. McBurney. Okay, so you split it. So you have x plus 3 is greater than 2, and then you pull a switch. You say x plus 3, and then you switch this to less than, and you switch that to negative 2, and then you solve. So minus 3 and minus 3, x is greater than negative 1, minus 3 and minus 3, x is less than negative 5. Now, that would be an OR problem. Right here, you see how it was greater? Greater means OR. Or if you just graph it on a number line, here's negative 1, here's negative 5. They're both open and pointing in different directions. Okay, so that's going to be this one right here. This is the only one that suits both of my answers. Oh, sorry, that was C. Number 4, Jordan is saving money for a $300 bike, so he wants to get $300. Right now he has $30 and he plans to save $10 every week. The amount of money he needs can be modeled by this equation. Y equals 270 minus 10x. Now the reason Guy is the 270 is because he needs 300, but he already has 30, so that's where the 270 comes from. And you might be confused about the minus 10x. The minus 10x is because how much he needs is going down by $10 a week. One solution is 10 and 170, so if you plugged in 10, you would get 170. What does that mean? Well, remember, it's going, what he needs, can we write this down, please? What he needs is going down $10 every week. Okay? So it says, what the world does that even mean? After 10 weeks, because that's what X stands for, Jordan will have saved 170. No, this equation is not about how much he saved. This equation is about how much he needs. After 10 weeks, Jordan will still need 130. No, he needs 170, not 130. That's sneaky. After 10 weeks, Jordan will have saved 160. That's an interesting thing. He will have saved 160. Well, 10 times, now he would have saved 100 because 10 times 10 plus the 30 he already had. No, so that's not it. After 10 weeks, Jordan will still need, so we have to understand, weeks was the X, need is the Y. That's our answer. He'll still need 170. Number 5. Jamal solved an equation by the following steps. What property can be used to justify step 5? So what is he doing? Well, it looks like to me he's dividing. So that would probably be the division property of equality. That was pretty, finally an easy one. Chapter 3 is rough, huh? Morris spent $94 on shorts and t-shirts. You want to call that X and Y? Shorts, X, are $14 a pair, and t-shirts, Y, are $8 each. Morris bought a total of 8 items. The situation can be modeled by this right here. I will tell you this. I think that you will have to make these. I really do. So what I need you to do is pause the video, and I really want you to make sure you understand X plus Y is 8, because that's how many items he bought, and 8 goes with X, because that's how much. They switched their X and their Y's, didn't they? They sure did. Look at that. Sneaky, sneaky. I hope you use an eraser. Look. They put 8 with X. You know what that means to me? T-shirts are X. See how they put 14 with Y? That means shorts are Y. That was sneaky. $94. So we have 3,5, and they're saying, is this a true statement? 3,5. Morris bought 5 pairs. What is the solution and what does it mean? Well, we should probably plug in 3,5. Well, no matter what, all of these equal 8, right? So they all plug into the first equation. But let's see if this is true. So 8 times 3 is 24, and 14 times 5 is 70. This is a possibility, okay? Let's see what it means, though. And what we should do, every time we see the word shorts, we should probably make it a Y. Y, 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 X, 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 X. And that's because of this that's because of this equation right here. And they told us what numbers go with what variables. All right. Let's see if letter A is true. It is true, by the way. So does 3 really represent t-shirts? Well, that means it would go in for X. Well, let's try. So 3 goes in for X. We're going to do 8 times 3 plus 14 times 5. Does that equal 94? 8 times 3 plus 14 times 5. There you go. That is true. Now let's talk about why B is wrong, because B might be kind of sneaky. Do you see how they say 3 this, and then it says 3 pairs of shorts? Because you would think like, oh, that plugs into my formula too. But 3 is not shorts. 3 is t-shirts. So they switched these on you. Yeah, because we didn't buy 5x's. See, we plugged 3 in for x, and we plugged 5 into y. So this would be like 5 for x and 3 for y. So no, B is super sneaky. Okay? And then C and D are just wrong because it's not, like, if you plug this in for x and that in for y, it doesn't work out. Okay? So number 7, choose the right graph. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it right here as you should. Okay? I need to solve for x. So I'm going to put my finger here, and I'm going to show you all you have to do is minus 5. Well, if I take away my finger, I just had to take away 5 from over here too. So look, that's 2 minus negative 3. Those go away. That's negative 2. So x bounces between negative 3 and negative 2. Those things right there mean that they're closed. And the only thing that works is A. It has to bounce between negative 3 and 2. That is an and problem. You studied that actually in Chapter 3 of Algebra 1. Number 8. A skydiver jumps from an airplane and reaches terminal velocity when she is 12,000 feet above the Earth's surface. At terminal velocity, she falls 170 feet per. See that word per? That's your slope. Second, which equation models the situation? H is how high above the Earth she is. So here's how high she is, and that equals. Now remember, this equation starts at 12,000. So we're going to start with our y-intercept. You can put it in the front or the back at 12,000. It doesn't matter if you put it in the front or the back. It's just 12,000. Now because she's coming closer to Earth, we have to take away 170 feet per, per second. So there's your slope. That's the one that gets the x because it's feet per, or it's 170 feet every second. So if you ever have that word each, or you have that word every, or you have that word per, all that means is that it's your slope and it gets the x. So the only equation that fits what we have written is C. Okay? Remember, the distance to Earth is getting smaller because she's getting closer and closer and closer to Earth. Number 9. Sanjay is 2 years less than 3 times his sister Nisha's age. Holy cow, that was a mouthful. The sum of their ages is 26. What if the system is true? Wow. That is a mouthful. So what you could do is you could take your multiple choice options and just plug them in and see which one is true. So let's check this first. Let's check the easy equation. X plus y is 26. Do those equal 26? Yeah. 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 So that equation doesn't help us at all, separating these two. But what we could do is this. See how it says Sanjay is 2 years less than 3 times his sister's Nisha's age? That would be, less would be one, either C or D, because they have subtraction of the 2 years. Let's see if this is true. So Sanjay is, that would be our x equals. According to these guys, it would be an x equals. So Sanjay would be our x, and Nisha is going to be our y. Let's plug these in and see which one's true, okay? So remember, let's just put Nisha, this would be y, this would be x. Let's see if this is true. Does 20 equal 3 times 6 plus 2? Yes, it does. Let's try another one. Remember, Nisha is y and Sanjay is x. And if you don't remember that, that's because these are all x equals. And this up here said Sanjay is. So that would be x. That's the equals one. Let's plug this in. So does 6 equal 3 times 20 plus 2? No, it does not. B's out. Oh, we already knew B was out. Oh, wow. Okay. That's coffee. Let's try this one. Nisha. So Nisha is, oh, and remember guys, we can't have this one. A is wrong because it had a plus 2. I shouldn't even have wasted my time on that one. Get rid of that smiley face because the equation was wrong. Nisha, so y and x. Let's test this one out. So does 19 equal 3 times 7 minus 2? Yes, it does. That'd be 21 minus 2. Smiley face. And then we could prove this one is wrong because that would be y, that would be x. 7 does not equal 3 times 19 minus 2. I think this problem was a very sneaky one because they wanted you to be very careful that you made Sanjay x. And the reason that was implied is because these were all x equals, and this says Sanjay is. So x equals and Sanjay is, that means is means equals in math. So if they're using x equals, then you need to use x for Sanjay. All right, Sanjay, I don't know. Number 10. What is the graph of this solution? All right, guys, I need you to really have your just basic Algebra 1 skills really up to par here, okay? You want to take all the x's to the left. So you see this 4x, we're going to do minus 4x. That's a 1x. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3x, plus 3 is less than negative 6. Take all your numbers to the right now. So minus 3, minus 3. That's negative 3x is less than negative 9. Divide by negative 3. Now I know I was with you and we did one of these at least together. When you divide by a negative, flip your sign. That is a huge deal. You will be tested on it and they will have the trick of not flipping it. So that is x is greater than 3. Notice we will use an open circle because it is not equal to, and it will point greater than, so it will point to the right. So we need to find positive 3. We need to have an open circle, and it needs to point in the positive direction. That's D. Whew. Now number 11. This was like chapter 6 when you were with Mr. McBurney or Miss Shirey. The way that we did it is we just like guessed. I said, which one do you guys want to guess as an option? And we plugged it in. So we have 4y equals 4x plus 2. You can see this is kind of like of the other ones we will be doing because I just actually made the chapter 4 video. Chapter 4 will be a nice little relaxing one after this one, okay? This video is already longer than the chapter 4 one. Well, I don't know. Let's try C. Let's hope that I do it right the first time. I don't have the answer key, so this is me just guessing. So we'll plug that in for y equals, I'm just trying C because, I don't know, I saw it. Let's see if that's true. Ready? So we're going to do 4 times 15 over 2. And what did I get? Let's see, I'll just zoom out so you can see more of the picture here. I got 30. So this side would be 30. Ooh, is that going to be 30? I don't think so. 4 times 8 plus 2 is not 30. All right, rewind. It's not C. I tried. I hope you have an eraser. I hope you're doing these problems with me. I'm really avoiding A, aren't I? Let's try B. I'm going to plug 4/3 in for x. So 4 times negative 5 over 6 equals 4 times 4/3 plus 2. Let's see if that's true. Ready? 4 times negative 5 over 6. So that's negative 3.3 repeating. Come on. You think this is it? Oh, alright. It's probably going to be A. I am sitting here avoiding A as much as possible. I don't know why. I hope you're like trying these with me. Otherwise, it's kind of dumb for me to be doing this. And you don't want me to waste my time because I know you. I know you love me. Okay. I think I have screwed this up like 5 times. So I'm going to do this right. We did B. No, it is not B. I think it's D. Ugh. So we're going to do 4 times 25 over 2 equals 4 times 12 plus 2. Dear heavens, I think I got it right, finally. Okay, 4 times 25 over 2. I've literally tried this 15 times. So I get 50, 4 times 12 over 2. But notice 4 times 12 plus 2. I didn't give up, did I? So, I literally plugged those options in like 3 times, and I kept switching x and y. But yay, I get 50 equals 50. Now we're going to see if it's true in the second equation. So we're trying D. D as in dog. So 5 times x, so 5 times 12, minus 4 times y, 25 over 2. All right. So we get 10 equals, okay, come on, buddy. 5 times 12 minus 4 times 25 over 2. Yay! 10 equals 10. I finally got 2 true statements. D is the answer. You have no idea how painful that was because I just cut out like 5 minutes of video. But that's okay. 12. Oh, my back hurts. I must love you guys. Number 12. Which graph shows the solution to the following system of equations? Well, the first thing to note is that these are solved for y. And that should make you very happy. If those were not solved for y, that would make you very sad because you need to solve them for y. First things first, let's make sure we know what their shapes look like. And that could even that right there could just tell us which graph it is. When I hit graph, it has to be that line and that line. So when I look, that makes B out of the question. See how it doesn't look like B at all? And it makes possibly A, possibly not D. Well, at least we got it narrowed down. All right, so which one is which? Well, this bottom line is going to go in the y-intercept at 2, right? Negative 2. Well, that doesn't clear anything up. Yes, it does. It cannot be C. Look. See how it doesn't cross at negative 2? That is out of the question. That is wrong because that would have to be crossing at negative 2. But what's kind of nice is I can show you. So we know this line is this line. And by the way, it should be a solid line because it's equal to. And we know this line matches. It should also be a solid line because it's equal to. Okay? But do you see this less than sign? It says it has to be below that one. See where it's shaded? It has to be above because of that greater than. So you can see above and below only happens in this area, which is really technically why A is your answer. 13. A test consists of multiple choice and short answer. The total numbers is 40. That's how they got that equation. The multiple choice are 2 each. See right there? So that tells me right away. See how the 2, it says multiple choice are 2 each. See that? That means that y is my multiple choice. And the short answers are 4. So it says short answers are 4. Can you see how they put 4 with x? So short answer, x is short answer. And that's because of this 4 and that 2 that told me. It says, what is the solution and what the heck does it mean? So 10, 30. Well, no matter what, A, B, C, and D, 10 and 30 is right on the first equation. But let's plug 10 in for x and 30 in for y and see if A is right. So is 4 times 10 plus 2 times 30 equal to 100? Well, that would be 40 plus 60 equals 100. I do know that 1030 is a solution. If you tried plugging in 3010, it would not be a solution. Now remember, please, this was x and this was y. And from all the reading, this is short answer, this is multiple choice. So it was really important for you to read your problem and figure those two things out. So that means there are 10 short answer. Well, is that here or here? That is B. And there are 30 multiple choice. That has to be B. A is, oh, they're all there to trick you. But this is more or less like, hey, can you read an equation and interpret it? So because they put the 4 next to the x, and because they said short answer was with 4, that let me know that x is short answer. There was a lot of reasoning in that, but if you sat there and you read it and you tried to piece it together, I really think you could. That, by the way, also came from Chapter 6 with Miss Shirey and Mr. McBurney. Okay, you can tell there's so much stuff from your old chapters in there, isn't it? Petra, wants to save at least $800. This sounds like that bicycle problem. She has $320 and will save the same amount each week for the next 10 weeks. Which situation can be modeled by this equation? Which statement? Oh, this situation can be modeled by this statement. So here's the 320 she does have. That should be a plus symbol. The 10x that she's saving every week needs to be 800 or more than 800. What is true? Oh, excuse me. If we say, $48 a week, let's see if that plugs in. So if we do 320 plus 10 times 48, is that greater than or equal to 800? Let's see. Yay, that does equal 800. So is she going to need to save $48 per day to achieve her goal? At most $48. No, she needs to save at least $48 to achieve her goal because she wants $48 or more. And then if you plugged in 112, you would just get like way wacko answers. Okay? Number 15. Consider this graph below. Which is the system of inequalities that corresponds to this graph? Well, you know what we could do? We could use our calculator, and for the solid line, we get 2 points. Let's see. I see negative 3, 2, and 3, negative 1, and we can get an equation. And for the broken line, we can cheat and get 0, negative 3, and 2, 3, and we can use our handy dandy to get 2 equations. So stat 1, clear. When you get to the chapter 4 and the chapter 3, you will see how many times I use this calculator. Okay, so that's terrible is what that is. Yikes. Boy, that glare is right there. Okay, so negative 0.5x plus 0.5 over here. And let's do that again. Please try hitting these buttons with me so I know that you're actually like attempting them and that I'm not wasting my time. Stat over number 4. So that's 3x minus 3. Okay, so there's how you get the equations, or I'm kind of hoping that maybe you guys know how to do that just by looking at the graph, but if you don't, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Here's what we do need to be able to do though. According to the solid line, can you see how it's shaded above the solid line? That means that we have to have a greater than or equal to symbol here. The broken line. Can you see that the broken line is shaded below the broken line? I just wrote shape instead of shade. Give me a break. I've made like 3 videos in a row here. You love me. See how they're shaded below the broken line? That means it's less than y. Notice I didn't do equal to because it's not a solid line. So which of these equations matches the 2 I have? Well, not A, because this symbol is wrong. Could be that one. Not C, because that symbol is wrong. Or D, because, hey, look at that. I know just from B is the answer because it has the right symbol and it's not equal to. And if I compare it with the one above. So B is my answer. Because all the other ones had the wrong second equation. 16. I believe that this is a doozy of a problem. I also cannot say that last man's name. So Mr. Crossa shipped a box of math textbooks because who doesn't spend their time just shipping random math textbooks around? And novels to a colleague. A math book weighed 2.5 pounds and a novel is 1.25 pounds. There were a total of 18 with a weight of 31.25. Write a systems equation that models the scenario. Identify your variables. So why don't we just start with math textbook? And we'll just say, hey, those are my x's. So the number of math textbooks is x. And we'll say the number of novels, those are y. You had to try to keep your handwriting in these boxes, otherwise they're not going to count it. I'm just getting lazy and not wanting to fit it. So the first thing I know is that there was 18 books. So I know x and y, is 18. That's the easy equation. The other equation really isn't hard either. I don't think once you see it, it's 2.5 for a math book plus 1.25 for a novel equals the total weight, 31.25. Okay, so there's my two equations, 1, 2. And now they want us to graph them. Let the horizontal axis represent the math books, which is good for us because that means make X math books, and the vertical axis represent the novels, which is good because that's what we have. They should have said that in part A, but we just got lucky. Okay, let's do this. We know X plus Y equals 18, so we can take away X, and that's Y equals negative X plus 18. That's the first equation we have to graph. The other equation, going to be a little more difficult, okay, but not terrible. We can do this because we are smart. And I will do it for you. As long as you try, that makes me happy. Minus 2.5x minus 2.5x. Okay, you ready? 1.25y equals negative 2.5x plus 31.25. That wasn't hard, right? Just moving that guy over. Divide by 1.25. Y equals, handy dandy, 2. So it's negative 2x plus, let's see what this is. I'm not even going to pretend like I know. 25. Alright, so we got to be careful with this, okay? I could hopefully count by 2s. Let's see if that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 26. So I am going to write y-axis by 2s. And you know what? I'm also going to do my x-axis by 2s. Hopefully, you can do it by 1s because that makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, we'd have to graph with intercepts, and I just think that would be really quite a challenge. Okay, so let's do the 18 one first. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now, I know it says down, the slope is down 1 over 1. So we can go down 2 over 2, and that's actually the exact same thing. I know it looks like I'm going down 1 over 1, but I'm actually going down 2 over 2, but that is totally legal because it's like skipping both by 2s. See this beautiful ruler my husband brought me because he loves me? Perfect. Alright, I made a little mistake when I was graphing my other line. Now this line should be fine. Okay. Let me just fix my eraser marks. Okay, so I counted poorly. Remember, I'm counting up by 2, so I have to do, this was 18, 20, this would be 22, this would be 24, this would actually be 26. So here's 25, and I have to be very careful, go down 2. So 1, 2 over 1. Okay, I'm going to do that again. 1, 2 over 1. Be very careful. 1, 2 over 1. Okay, how am I doing? Oh, not very good, am I? Okay. So here is 25. So I have to go down 1, 2 over 1. This is not easy. 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. 2 over 1. See if those how I did there. Hopefully they make a nice straight line. Not too bad. Okay, kind of crosses at a weird spot, like maybe right here. All right. Okay. Whew. There's my graph. And notice I didn't go negatives or anything, so this is novels. This is math books. Everything's by twos. Describe 2 ways you can find the number of books. Well, we can see where the lines cross. Okay. The other way is, now we haven't actually talked about this because I've been showing you other ways, but you could use that thing they taught you about substitution, which you should be good at, or elimination. Okay. I'd love to practice more of these with you before I go if I can. Now, I made a mistake because I drew my first line wrong, so now I'm ready to go ahead and fix that. So we're just going to look at where the lines cross, and then we'll double check using our math. You see that area right there where they cross? We're going to count how many over that happen. So it happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, it happens at 7 because I'm counting by 2. So that's 7 math books. Now we're going to count up from here. You ready? Remember, we were counting by 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you might want to pause the video and replay that if that was kind of a struggle. To prove that that is true, we're going to check the weights. So 7 times the weight of a math book is 2.5 plus 11 times the weight of a novel gives you the total weight that they were asking for, and 7 and 11 makes that 18, so I know that we did it right because I double checked my answer. Yeah, this one was very painful. So if you struggled your way through this, I need you to know this came from chapter 6 from Mr. McBurney and Miss Shirey. Most of this was covered for you in chapter 6, and a couple of things maybe in a couple of these from chapter 5 or chapter 3. But the primary focus of this lesson came from chapter 6 of Algebra 1. So if you struggled, you might want to go back and look over your old notes.